Okay, so we're going to talk about one of the principles, which is forcelessness or effortlessness. Now, this one can be really misunderstood in the sense that they feel like, okay, I should be really forceless and like soft, like when I make contact with someone, I have no force in my body, but then you become like a sack of potatoes, or like, it's not like you're, lying on the sofa doing nothing. It's not so much that. And also it's done in stages. So, I think effortlessness and forcelessness are good concepts or good principles to be guided by, but we need to understand them correctly. So, for example, if we think about when we're doing the form, you will feel a level of, muscular effort or force in your body to just hold yourself up and also to, do the actual movements. And also getting that precision in your movements is super important. So, I can just keep it forceless and like have my arm like a floppy sack of, turd, and it's just like, not really doing anything, but there's no, if Carson pushes on it now, it's just going to collapse because it's soft and limp and weak. So effortless and forceless doesn't mean that you are structurally unintegrous or weak or floppy. It means that you're not using excessive force. So maybe that's a better way of saying it, minimum use of brute strength or effort, so to speak. Now, for example, if you do like a chit-chow, right, you can make the shape beautiful, right? Feel the shape, and you will feel a layer of, if you're conscious of your arm, you will feel a layer of activity and tension. What you want to do is release that activity, release that muscular activity using centering, sensing, syncing, and even the higher intention for you guys who've gone through the state, so that you can, empower the actual structure through using the energy body, the mind, and the sensation, as opposed to using muscular force. So if we, use the chit-chow can be done in many angles. Chit-chow as an example, right? If Carson's holding and put some pressure on stop me moving, and I use force to do it, then straight away his pressure, his force is going to hit my muscles and start to actually create this push-pull, or a pushing back kind of effect. Whereas if I can start to make that shape forceless and take the force out of it, then as I do the movement now, I don't get that kickback anymore. Because, this links into structure, right? In that the force can then translate into my structure instead of onto my muscular system. It can translate into my structure, and then when I move, it's forceless. Now, I'm even thinking forcelessness might actually be a shit word for it, to be honest. More so effortless. There is some effort there. Yeah, probably, I think minimum use of effort is probably better. Actually, Sifu Jim put it as minimum use of brute strength. And that's, I think that lines up best with the concept of forcelessness, because you're trying to minimize the use of strength. Now, the problem with saying minimum use of brute strength, and if you're thinking about it in that way, is that your concentration is on brute strength. Yeah. So, I'm like, okay, don't use brute strength, don't use brute strength, don't use brute strength. But that would bring my mind to brute strength. But if I can start to think forceless and effortless, that's where the value lies, because I can start to think, okay, I should feel as though there's an effortlessness to my movement. So there's value to it. Yeah, I mean, Carson just said feng song, which is, the term they used to say in my master, and also pretty much every Wing Chun teacher in the world says is relax, right? Which also means let go as you go further. To the point where, side note, my master's bird used to say it, song, 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 song. It used to tell us to relax. That's how often he used to say it. Anyway, coming back to the point. We want to get ourselves to a place where our body uses that forceless, effortless approach. There will be effort, but the effort that you put in the force, so let's just stick to the word effort for now, is more of a mental effort, in the sense that you concentrate your attention on that which is necessary to perform well. For example, on one's center. For example, on sensing the space. For example, on syncing. For example, targeting and seeing where you're going. So the effort will be more of a mental effort, more of an attention-based effort. And then we come to the term being forceless. Forceless is more so from, there's layers to it. So you've got the muscular system, right? So if we just go with a punch, right? The muscular force is one thing, right? Where I'm using muscular force. And I want to subtract that muscular force initially so I can go into structural force. So I'd call structure actually force as well, right? In the sense that it's physical. So even though structure is more powerful than than muscular strength, generally speaking. If you get the world's strongest man, it might not be, but generally speaking for the individual, then from structure to energy, that's when you start to move out of force completely. So ultimately, forcelessness and effortlessness is a good concept to have in mind, but you want to think of it more in stages, like the growth of a tree, Not that a baby tree is bad compared to a fully grown tree, they're just different stages, right? So using your structural system isn't bad, right? It's just a stage, right? So using that structure isn't bad, but ultimately you want to dissolve the structure as well. So you come out of the muscular force, structural force, and go into the energetic power, which is sensing the etheric body, the energy body, and using the mind and intention to lead your movement, so that you start to feel that your physical body can relax as deeply as possible via releasing the layers of force and effort. So another way to approach this is that we're looking to get ourselves to a stage where the mind and the energy are the source of power, and the structure and the muscle system, they stay as released as humanly possible. Let's look at it from another angle. So, for example, Carlson's doing the form, let's say. So he's doing the form, and he's thinking to himself, okay, I want to be effortless, I want to be forceless, right? So as he goes through the form, he's thinking to himself, okay, relax my muscles, relax my muscles. This is just a side angle to think about it. So he's thinking, relax my muscles, relax my muscles. But what will be going through the person's mind who thinks relax, relax, or relax the muscles is, okay, I'm thinking about the physical body, right? So you're thinking about that which produces force, the physicality of the body. What we're looking to do, especially for you guys who are a bit more advanced, is align yourself with that does not produce force. Align yourself with that which produces power. And what would that be?
My mistake.
That would be, don't worry about it. That would be, just keep going. That would be if Carlson's going through the form and he's thinking to himself now, rather than thinking relax the muscles, sense the etheric body or sense the energy body. Yeah. Or align with my highest intention. Or, so what am I getting here? He's trying to align himself with the mind and the energy, or the mind and the energy body, as opposed to thinking too much attention on the physical. Now, that's not to say it's bad to put your attention on the way the structure moves and relaxation of the muscles. You can get very good that way, and it's usually staged out, right? But if we're looking more to the advanced levels, you want to start aligning yourself with the mind and the energy. So, sensing the space and having the intention for the space to move forward, as opposed to relaxing my muscles and having my muscles move forward. Your attention leads your energy, and your attention tends to amplify that which it is on. So what you're looking to do, if we're looking at the concept of forcelessness, is align yourself with the mind and the energy, and the way we do it in Wing Chun is through the state. So through your highest intention, centering, sensing, syncing, seeing. So Carlson's mind should have his attention on the intention of his highest intention, the space his body is in, syncing and flowing everything to the target from that level. So he starts to use mind and energy as the entry point. So if you think back to those structure, muscle structure and state posters in the previous videos, rather than approaching it from the muscular sense or the structural sense, approach it from the mental sense, from the mental and the energy side. So you can start to bring out the power of the Seal Nim Tao, the small thought or little idea, which we found as we practice more, it's linked to the heart as well. Okay, so there's a few ideas for you on forcelessness. I know a lot of that was kind of more high level or at the level of mind and intent. And once again, don't think that if you're working on structure and relaxation of muscle, that's a bad thing. That's a really good thing as well. It's not all bad, it's just growth stages. If you do have any questions about anything we just spoke about, comments, concerns, or even if you want to argue, it's that's great, because we're all going to grow and learn together. Chuck it into the community, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.